Welcome to another Fuller Brothers video. We're a week and a half away from WrestleMania. That means we got one Raw, 2 SmackDowns left. I have one question. We have a little bit of time. Where the hell's The Rock been?
He's busy, Sir Hodge, all right?
Doing
He's
what?
final boss stuff to do. He's taking care of the company. Someone has to take care of the company. Someone has to make millions of dollars.
I like how Cody Rhodes is supposed to be headlining WrestleMania, getting shit on by everybody for John Cena fans and the Rock fans for the last 2 years, and he's been working with these part timers.
Yeah.
He's been carrying these programs.
He's basically, the meme, that everybody makes John Cena was crying, when he did his heel promo. You made a meme about not seeing me. That's what Cody Rhodes is doing basically every week. He's just basically talking to no one. It's just like, yo, you're not there. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Exactly.
Like, how far can someone carry a feud with the person not there? Like, what
Two people. I mean, John Cena's be gone. Probably till WrestleMania at this point. It seems like, and unless he makes a surprise appearance like The Rock did last year. But with The Rock, where's The Rock at? This whole storyline, I felt like it was gonna have The Rock involved. That was like one of the exciting parts because The Rock and Cena working together was insane. And everybody expected to see that, but they didn't.
I wanted to see, exactly. I want to see more of like last year when we saw Roman and The Rock in the ring together. Yeah, and they're together. They're like, it gave us a little bit. Maybe they won't be tribal chief buddies.
Maybe there'll be a little bit of friction.
Acknowledge him, right? But now it's just like, okay, we don't even know what the hell's going on with the relationship between The Rock and Cena is.
It's a bunch of bullshit. I do think that The Rock has to show up at WrestleMania. I think he will show up at WrestleMania as somebody who's a part of the board and everything like that. You got to be at the biggest show of all. It's only one night too, and if he's not, then what the hell's the point of him being in this storyline? Why did John Cena really turn heel? Yeah. What's the benefits of turning heel if The Rock's not there to help you out during the match?
100%. Because why? Like, The Rock basically just said, "Hey, I made you heel. You're on your own, buddy." Yeah. That's what it feels like. That's it. Hey, you sold your soul to me. I'm not helping you anymore. I got your soul. I'm out of here.
I do think there's one thing that could happen. This was last week. Kevin Owens announced he's out at WrestleMania, and you had a take a few weeks ago that maybe multiple weeks ago that Randy Orton could be the third man in this whole thing. And maybe Randy Orton, this is his new role at WrestleMania where he helps out John Cena and he's like the third man in his way, and The Rock kind of sends him in and gives Randy Orton
he had that promo with Cody. Was it 2 SmackDowns ago?
SmackDown? Yeah.
And the crowd was chanting RKO, and you can tell he's a little visibly upset.
Yeah. And then John Cena said it himself. He said, Randy Orton said it himself that he's going to come after the WWE title. Yeah. So if John Cena, even if John Cena doesn't win, maybe Randy Orton comes, helps out, challenges Cody Rhodes down the road anyways, right? But
I think it would be a great thing to have a John Cena Randy Orton team up. Like, that's something that would be like, that'd be fun. It just in general, like, because Randy Orton has nothing to do, and it'd be a waste for him to not do anything in this WrestleMania if it's just him like on the sidelines. Like, this guy's one of the biggest stars.
Yeah, 100%
in the company, and you're just gonna we're gonna have no match with them.
Speaking of Randy Orton, first of all, Kevin Owens is out of WrestleMania. I think. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he is. I don't think he'd be getting mad at fans if he wasn't, and which sucks. Kevin Owens to me has been on the best run of his career, in my opinion, the last 3 months. For the fact that he hurt his neck and did that spot at Royal Rumble just shows
he got Alabama slammed through the thing.
I mean, this guy's insane. He's just one of the what a savage he is.
Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn match was unreal too. He put on 2 matches where they're just going through they're kicking each other. They're trying to kill each other pretty much in the ring.
Basically, if it wasn't for John Cena turning heel, that would be the match that would be talked the most about.
100%.
The Sami and Kevin Owens match.
Yeah.
And I think he might 100% be out because he's doing all these interviews. Yeah. And I don't think he's the kind of guy that would do those interviews.
Would break character.
If it meant that he was like because he would continue doing the interviews from his car to send the message.
100%. I do think. I wonder who Randy Orton takes on at WrestleMania. Now, there's a lot of options. People are saying maybe an open challenge, which wouldn't be a bad idea. I think you could throw a bunch of young guys into that mix. Carmelo Hayes was the guy that you said.
Carmelo, same guy. Mellow. He's him.
Yeah, he is. That wouldn't be a bad match because give the young guy at least some push. And Carmelo Hayes to me is one of the most underutilized wrestlers on the roster because Braun Breaker came in, got shot to the moon. He's flying. This guy Carmelo Hayes has been here and maybe here and then barely flying. He's not moving much.
Yeah, he isn't. And
the one guy I thought that would be a great match against Randy Orton or somebody who could use a spot and has probably earned it a bit would be Karrion Kross.
Oh, Karrion Kross. I like him. I like him a lot. They're underutilizing him a lot too, in my opinion.
I think he could easily build a story too in the next 2 weeks if he wanted to, because he's actually really good with storytelling and everything like that. He does a lot of things great, and I think there'd be a good chance for him to get a little bit of shine at WrestleMania this year.
I kind of also I think he would be the perfect guy to we were talking about earlier Randy Orton joining John Cena's team. You know, it would be a great him to join Karrion Kross because Karrion Kross is always talking. You know, the voice is in my head.
Karrion Kross does a good job of, you know, every time somebody turns heel, it's Karrion Kross is the guy who like helps them. He's kind of getting their head, and maybe he plants the seed in Randy Orton's head to turn on Cody down the line.
That'd be a great.
Like, hey, you're not gonna win that title for Cody Rhodes if you're like this kind of Randy Orton.
My other suggestion was going to be, because he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania, was Solo Sikoa.
Ooh.
Because he doesn't have one.
Yeah, is Jacob Fatu's wrestling for the
Jacob Fatu
US title?
Wrestling for the...
Which I didn't expect at all. I thought it was him for Solo.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Solo. Maybe Randy can finally get his revenge on the bloodline that he's supposed to get like a year ago.
100%. Because then I think if he does that and he also goes heel... Then you get, I think, in my opinion, because I think Jey Uso is going to win. I think a lot of people think Jey Uso is going to win. And then he could go and beat up Jey Uso and take the title from him.
That could be
and it could be his thing of like, I want heel because, you know, we got to keep these bloodline in check.
Yeah.
You know, it gives a good reason for him to go heel.
Or, you know what? I just thought of this. Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania 38.
Yes.
As a surprise, you know, return. If you're going to do that, apparently Aleister Black's supposed to be coming back, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the WWE fans would go nuts if Aleister Black shows up at WrestleMania 41 and is Randy Orton's surprise opponent.
Oh,
that'd be a good match. Aleister Black is a great in-ring performer. That'll be a great 101.
I like that idea.
But speaking about your boy, you brought up Jey Uso, the He-Man himself. Different look this week after, you know what, I said it before, bringing in Jimmy would be but I thought Jimmy has like his talking and his hype man and all this stuff would have been huge. It would have been fun to watch with Jimmy and him cutting promos together, and then, you know, Jey getting pumped up a bit. Yeah. But they used him even in a better way, I think, where Gunther beats the shit out of Jimmy, and Jey watches and he's bleeding. What a sicko Gunther is with that blood all over him. He put the BJ pen licking the blood and stuff, right?
He went BJ pen, he went so American Psycho, just all over. You know, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
He sent the message.
But I did like that Jey Uso came out a little more serious this past Monday Night Raw.
Gunther a little less. He looked like Mr. Bean in my opinion.
I think Gunther trolled him. You know, he rattled him. He thought, but I think Jey Uso, they did a good job of making him look more serious, and him coming out without with his shirt tucked inside out. I like that small little detail. And then I mean, I wish he didn't have the Yeet glasses. I wish he came out without the glasses or something like that. So
maybe more like,
because then if he came out a little more serious looking, they wouldn't have done the whole Yeet.
I think I want to ask you this question. Do you think Gunther's gonna lose again? An underdog style fashion.
I think so. 2 times
in a row.
I think so.
Because, you know, even the comment section, you can let us know if you think Gunther's gonna lose. Because the way it's building up, it seems like the same thing as Sammy last year. You know what I mean? Like a fight that seems impossible for Jey. And we've seen it. He's lost to Gunther 4 times. Yeah. We've seen this again, like
for the US title.
For the US title, Intercontinental.
Sorry, Intercontinental.
Yeah. So now it's like coming to the point of where it looks like the same thing as Sammy. Like Sammy overcame that and won the title, and then Sammy dropped it to a younger talent. You know what? I want to see happen at WrestleMania because we just talked about. I kind of want Gunther to win. Yeah. But I also want LA Knight to lose the title to Jey Uso, and then LA Knight to make a jump to Raw,
Jacob Fatu,
to Jacob Fatu, and then make a jump to Raw and compete for the title.
That would be fun too. Here's what I thought before this past Monday Night Raw and maybe the Monday Night Raw before this. I didn't think he had a real chance of actually winning against Gunther. I was like, what's the point? There's no, like, outside of the fans going nuts, there's no real momentum behind Jey Uso. But now that they've kind of made him a little more serious here, and he's kind of gone back to those bloodline days where he's actually cutting good promos and cutting like heartfelt promos, like deep down from his soul. Yeah. I think he has a better chance of winning now than he did before. I think I actually do think if he wins at WrestleMania, it makes more sense. But then again, I can see the WWE being like, fuck this, you know what?
Yeah, I can see that too. Because, you know, they did to his dad a lot of the time. Rikishi didn't get the title. But I don't think Rikishi was that over as much as
Jey Uso,
Jey Uso
he's
was.
Not.
And you know what? I don't mind him if he won the title and then he lost the title like in a month
or so. SummerSlam. He could be a transitional champion like, you know, a bunch of guys like that.
But I don't think Gunther should be away from the belt for too long because I think Gunther's the kind of guy. He's the up and rising star. Yeah. I think him and Cody are the.
But maybe Gunther moves to SmackDown and actual for the big belt. You know,
goes against that. You know what? I would like that move more because Cody needs some better newer heels. Yeah. And I think Gunther and Cody, they put on a good match in Saudi, even though it was kind of like ridiculous for that title.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I didn't like the title. Like, it was pointless. Yeah. But their match was solid because it made not only Cody look sick, it made Gunther look good. Yeah.
Another big match for WrestleMania is Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. For the longest time, this match to me was my least favorite of all the women matches.
Yeah.
But this rivalry has kind of picked up some steam here, even though a lot of people kind of weren't sure how to feel about that promo battle on SmackDown. I loved it. I loved that Tiffany Stratton finally got a chance to actually say whatever the hell she wanted.
Yeah, 100%. I like that she you've been saying it for a long time. You gotta let her be who she is and how she got here because they kind of pulled the reins on her character, and like you said multiple times, it didn't look good. It wasn't it was too stale. Yeah. And I like that Charlotte Flair, she claims to be 14-time world champ, but the way she got rattled by that crowd, it was I thought, why didn't she just play into being the heel? She didn't. She was trying to befriend the crowd. I don't know if she's I don't know if having a crisis of who she is, because I always thought she was more of a heelish type person, right? As
on screen character, she seems like a better heel than a face, and I think the fans just have always they don't really. They've never been happy about her because obviously she gets a lot of title shots that she, for no reason, half the time she just walks and she's a title shot all the time. So a lot of people don't care about that anymore. They want to see her maybe another match. Maybe she could be like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, where they don't have to wrestle for titles anymore. She doesn't either. She's very talented in ring. She doesn't really need a rivalry where she's chasing after a championship anymore. And I think a lot of people are just over that whole her chasing for the belt. And I think a lot of people do think that she'll end up winning at WrestleMania, which she doesn't need to either. I think Tiffany Stratton needs to win at WrestleMania more than she does, and it makes Tiffany Stratton look a lot better than it does for Charlotte Flair. And the fact that she answered the bell, I think a lot of people thought she got out promo battled.
She did get out promo.
Yeah, the week before when they did the behind the scenes one on via what is called satellite. Yeah. That's what they call it. But then this week, I think Tiffany just smoked her, and it was so good. It's fun to watch because you finally got a bit. Obviously, the last little shot there was kind of a bit too real, but I liked it a little bit too. I like the drama. She
was like Conor McGregor when her leg was broken.
Yeah,
Your wife's in my DMs.
That's what I
Your wife is in me DMs, hey baby.
Going on to Charlotte Flair, you think about that Royal Rumble, her return wasn't even as big as I felt like Alexa Bliss's. I think Alexa Bliss's had more about people were more hyped to see her back.
I think Alexa Bliss is a different story. I think they're still trying to figure out what to do with the Wyatt Six, or they're trying to figure that whole storyline out, because that's where the direction was from the start. I guess the plan was. With Charlotte Flair, she won WrestleMania, so obviously she's gonna be on TV a lot more.
Royal Rumble, which I didn't even think.
And she's a bigger name too.
Yeah, that's true. She's a bigger name, but it doesn't seem like it anymore. She's a bigger name. Yeah. It's
I think she just needs to lean into being a heel. It's you're a heel, and then I guess Tiffany Stratton. She needs to start talking shit. She is she's 25 years old. She said it, and she's a WWE Women's Champion. She needs to embrace that whole role and be a little more cocky.
I think she needs to be like The Rock and Austin when they were faces, right? They just talk shit, and you gotta. That's how she got here, and she just should stick to that character.
Yeah, we finally found out what the favor is, Razor.
Yeah,
finally after all these years, it makes sense. Paul Heyman is walking down to the ring at WrestleMania 41 with CM Punk, not the Tribal Chief, CM Punk.
That didn't seem like worth of what he did for the favor. He could have just been like, "Hey, Paul, you mind walking me with?" He didn't have to risk his whole body in the war games. It didn't seem like worth these save the family, but all right,
yeah, find a way. But the question is now: is Paul Heyman's walking in with? We know low keys who the real Paul Heyman is. Don't let him fool you at all. Don't let this whole, this poor old man, he's getting his ass kicked, fool you. Because this guy, he's a savage. He's smart. He knows he's how to stay on the top. He's the man who stays on the top at all times. And I think what happens is, at the end of this match, just like Seth Rollins called in for a favor, he's going to get that favor with the help in this match from Paul.
You think Seth Rollins is going to come on top of this match?
Yeah.
To be honest, out of all the three of the guys in this match, I think Seth Rollins needs to win the most.
Yeah.
Because Roman's going to be Roman, right?
Yeah.
And CM Punk's going to be CM Punk, right? And CM Punk already had a great feud with Drew McIntyre, and he came on top of that. And Roman also had a great feud with his
Solo
Sikoa, and came on top of that. Yeah. Right now, I think Seth Rollins needs to win, and I think this would be a perfect time because you've been mentioning it since we started this channel. We need more heels.
Facts.
We're lacking on heels out here.
We need top end heels, and Seth Rollins is like a. Okay, so if you watch this, we've been watching, these three guys when they go at it. I feel like the last few weeks, the real friction's been between Roman Reigns and CM Punk, where Seth Rollins is like, I'm telling you, Roman, I'm telling you. And they're like, this guy's a scumbag. He's trying to get in his ear, but nobody really wants to listen to Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins kind of getting pushed to the side, right? And I think Seth Rollins is going to go full on heel and, be like, okay, you guys want to push me to the side? I'm the fucking man. Turn heel, Paul Heyman by his side, and then Maybe we'll get my dream of the faction with him and Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre when KO comes back, maybe a few months down the line. But maybe we'll get that heel turn, Seth Rollins heel turn at WrestleMania, which I expect to happen.
I like it. And you know what? He was spitting facts on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Raw. He was saying, Paul, where's CM Punk? He's never here to help you out when you got put to the table. Roman wasn't there to help you when you got put to the table.
Yeah.
Maybe he could probably push him like, I will be, because he is a workworkhorse.
Yeah, he is. And he said it himself. He's like, who did you ask to be the fifth man at Survivor Series first? Not CM Punk. And then Paul was like, yeah, you're right. I had to ask you. It makes so much sense for Seth Rollins to win this match and turn heel at this match. I think that's where the storyline's going. Because CM Punk, and it seems like it's going, Seth Rollins is kind of thorn in both those guys' sides, but they're kind of going at each other. It's like Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, and that's what we're kind of getting here. And then Seth Rollins is kind of on the side, and he's going to be like, okay, I'm being overshadowed. I got to take all this, the spotlight back and put him on myself.
And I think it works out great because, like, you got to think about the people that are going to, because I personally think Cody's going to win at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And you got to think about, like, you got to have more opponents for
Cody Rhodes
that could be heels. We talked about Gunther changing and going to SmackDown, contending against him. But Seth Rollins also, they put on great matches together. And I also like the story of like Roman Reigns and CM Punk meeting down at
down the line
SummerSlam. That'd be a great SummerSlam's like 2 nights. You might as well have one night with Roman's starring and just exactly what you're doing at WrestleMania. Yeah. And also, great sell by Roman when he took the GTS.
Oh, yeah, he
died. He looked like Peter Griffin falling on the stairs.
He got KO'd pretty much.
Yeah.
He actually got KO'd.
Great sell job, man. I liked it. I was like, these guys could probably put a banger of a match.
I mean, he's only a week and a half away, which means, the Super Bowl's almost over. Our Super Bowl season's almost over.
Yeah, it is.
The best time of the year for us wrestling fans is almost over. But, we'll have a lot more content after that. Right for now, get excited for WrestleMania. This will be a good time. I think we have a few more videos coming out about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Probably a preview video as well. Just go ahead and subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen in WrestleMania 2. Let us know what you think about all these storylines, the major ones going into WrestleMania.
Let us know about The Rock. Do you think the final boss should show up? Because you know what? He's missing.
You're doing that too much. You're doing too much.